the simple word about malwares is that it is abbreviation for two words. It means malicious software, right? Malicious software, it means malicious software. So the abbreviation of these is malware. Right? So malicious software is a malware. Now there are many malwares around, right? Now if you look at the marks that is provided today, we have question 2, 3, 6, and 8 will provide 0.5 marks from your coursework marks, right? So if you take a look at the introduction or the beginning of the greediness of people around the world, right? Why I say people is greedy? Because if you are confident, or if you are good with your system, right, you would not create something to hack into other people's system. When you're greedy for other things that is not given to you freely, then you will find ways to obtain it. That is why I say greediness, right? This feeling, right, is appear in every one of us. Don't say I don't have, right? I'm not that high up above, right? So, but you can contain it. You can contain it, right? Now, virus, what is the history of virus? If you take a look at virus, right? Now, virus is a malware that is introduced, right? That is introduced to infect your system, right? And its plan is either to disrupt your normal operation of your system, or to disrupt the equipment by itself, right? So now, in definition, right, a virus is a malicious software that is, of course, in order to inflict some disadvantage in your company, in your computer, right? It has to be loaded into your computer. If the virus is not in your computer, it cannot inflict disadvantage to you, I would say. Disadvantage. Why? Because when you have virus in your computer, you find that your normal process of doing tasks may be disrupted, right? So, and sometimes the virus comes to your computer without your knowledge. That is the worst thing, right? Now, if the virus comes to your computer with some knowledge that you have, then you're fine, because you say, okay, I have a virus scanner, I have a virus buster, so I will clean it up, right? But if you're not aware, when you go to the bank, the virus will collect the information and will disrupt, right? And the next time when you go, right, to the same bank, you say, okay, my 1,000 is lost, right? A lot of things can happen, right? Now virus can self-replicate, right? It can insert to a program to sniff things, right? Or it can infect them and make it unoperational. It depends on what is the task of the virus. That is not a distinct task. Oh, virus can only do this. No, virus have many forms, right? But sometimes viruses are not destructive. It's just make inconvenience to your system, right? For example, right, if I download some software, then it comes with a lot of advertisement, ask you to go Lazada lah, ask you to go Shopee lah, ask you to buy this lah, or introduce something to you which you think is disrupting your normal operation of computer. But how do you deal with that, right? So There are many types of virus, right? For example, boot sector virus. Well, that is very strong virus. You cannot even put up your computer, right? Or override virus, right? Override virus, that means it's going to corrupt your file, right? Corrupt your file. Then you have resident virus, direct action virus, and many other more virus, right? So those viruses, I'm sure Dr. Robito is going to discuss in detail with you, right? Now, how do you remove your virus? Of course, it comes at a dollar sign. It comes as a dollar sign. Why? Because you have to pay for it, right? Antivirus, right? Like my computer, I have the F-Secure antivirus. 1 year, I have to pay about nearly 100 plus, nearly 200, right? You can have many other viruses that is free, or you have viruses that is dedicated, right, to your computer, right? So yeah, you have many types, right? But still, do you think that a paid version virus is better than a non-paid version virus? How about Lee Yuxiang? I didn't share screen because I'm just talking about something, right? So virus. Do you think free virus is no good? Liu Xiang. How about Chia Pei Yong? Wang Huishi? Is virus the free virus scanner is no good? I mean virus scanner lah, not virus. Is free no good, or can you accept free virus scanner? You know. So and then there is worm, right? Worm. Now, what is the worm and virus? What is a worm? Now, if you take a look at worm, right? A worm is a type of I would say a type of program, right? That can mutate, that can mutate, that can copy itself, right? Mutate means make a copy of itself and grow bigger, right? That is a worm, right? So it can spread to other computer also, a worm, right? If it's it has a network, right? So its target is actually to make your services slow, I would say, right? If you have a worm in your computer, you'll find that your computer gets slower and slower, right? And then if you look at your lab 3, right, the question 1, right, and then you have Trojan horse, right? What is Trojan horse? Trojan horse is actually now the story behind Trojan horse, right? Right, the story behind Trojan horse, right? Trojan horse is also a malware, right? Of course, right? So it's like I would say if you have if you've seen the Chinese drama, or you've seen a lot of English drama. Now this drama usually have one bad guy, right? So this bad guy initially in front, he portray or she portray as a very good person, but at the end, you know, this is the worst the worst type of enemy that you can have, right? So in other words, Trojan horse is a malware which misled user of its true intent. It's like you are bad, but you portray yourself as good, right? So Trojan can be used, right, to gain access to your system, right? Typically, they are used to trick you, right? to for example, I have a free handphone for you, right? But you must fill in this form, right? And then after that, I will give you some maybe freebies, right? I give you a USB wireless mouse, right? And you say, wow, this shop not bad. I fill in something, right? And it gives me a wireless mouse which costs 100 plus, right? So you are happy, but at the end, you find that all your data is being stolen and you are being compromised. That is Trojan horse, right? So, and then if you look at your question one, you have backdoor, spyware, zombie, adware. Adware is the worst one, right? It's going to introduce you to buy everything that you don't need, right? Spyware, zombies, I think by the word you already know. Backdoor. Now, backdoor, as a system manager, next time when you grow in your career, you will become in charge of a department. Now, this backdoor is what you would say that you need to take into consideration. You need to really look into the program, because your programmers will probably make a backdoor in the system, right? Now, the backdoor, same like if your house have two doors, the back door can go to the house also. The front door also go to the house. But the front door is usually legitimate. Only guest comes in. Back door, usually the bad guy. So if you have a back door, meaning it can steal your data, right? So a lot of things can happen, right? If you look at today, right? If you look at the in the question one, so you should identify the difference between the types of malwares, such as virus, worm, Trojan horse, rootkit, backdoor, spyware, zombies, and adware, right? So I've discussed some of it. Actually, this is a form of discussion, right? So you should write down, right, in case this is discussed in your quiz or in your midterm or in your final assessment, right? Please make. I think Dr. Robito will discuss this later with you, but at least some of it we have discussed in detail. Now, identify the type of malware below, right? What is Melissa? What is Melissa? Identify. This is now Melissa is a virus, right? Melissa virus is a mass mailing macro virus released in the late 1990s, right? So what does it do, right? Its target is very simple. It's just targeting the Microsoft Word and Outlook-based system to create a considerable network traffic, a background traffic, so that people assume that your server, your email server is not working, and right. So it's usually this kind of virus, they will attack those expensive paid organization system, right? For example, Unix or Linux system, they seldom have viruses because it's a free, right? It's a free platform. So, and then, okay, subsequently code rate. This one, code rate, right? These names are, if you come across code rate, right? Why they name it code rate? This is a very I would say this story behind the code rate is according to the code rate it's also a Microsoft right? It's also from Microsoft, but code rate is not a virus, right? It's a worm, right? So now what does it do and why is it named code red? If you take a look at the code red, right? It inflict on Microsoft web server, right? Now, why they name it code red is because when they were having the discussion about how this virus works, or when they were discovered, right? And the employees at that time were drinking Code Red Mountain Dew, right? So that's why they named this virus Code Red. So it is sometimes when you look at the name of the virus, you kind of like feel that it's something that you can ponder upon, you can think about it. So, and then you have Morris, and then you have W32 Mobla, right? So yeah, so please identify, right? I've informed you the tool, right? Melissa is a virus, Code Red is a worm, Morris and Mubla, right? Morris, the case is actually quite sad if you take a look at Morris. Morris, this person is the first person who is inflicted, right? The first person who is inflicted. Morris is also not a virus, it's a worm, right? This is the first felony conviction in the United States, right? In the 1980s, right? Inflicted, and it was convicted. It was the first felony conviction, right? In the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act. Now, if you know US, right? The university, most famous university is actually around the same area in Massachusetts. So yeah, around Massachusetts, there are few universities that are very famous, right? And the few university is Cornell University, is Ivy League University, and also, of course, the most famous one, MIT, right? Now, this Morris is very clever, you know. He was actually from Cornell University. But when he wrote The Worm, he was afraid that people will discover that that the worm comes from Cornell University. So he go across in the small town, right? There's the MIT and Cornell. So he go across the other university, that is MIT, right? And he put the Morris worm inside the launch it, right? I would say he would put the worm inside, means he launched it in MIT instead of he launching it, the Morris worm, in Cornell University. So and when people found out the worm, people thought, oh, MIT, right? Yeah, so they start to find the culprit. But finally, they found that this is a graduate student from Cornell University, right? And he was the first person, right, who is convicted under US law, right? And his penalty wasn't very strict, right? His penalty is he was sentenced to 3-year probation. He didn't go to the jail, 400 hours of community service, and a fine of $10,050 plus the cost of his supervision, right? But you know, this guy is so clever. This guy is so clever because his father is Robert Morris, right? A famous cryptographer working with NSA, right? So sometimes it's heredity, right? The intelligence. Anyway, this guy is really good, right? He actually became a very important person. And also you can see that Mubla, right? This one has no interesting story to say, right? So yeah, that would be question 1. Now question 2. Download the ICAR files from the RexRain ICAR HTML. Right now, before you proceed to question 2, you have to disable your antivirus if you have antivirus, because your antivirus will prohibit. Now, this ICAR files is a test file. It's a virus test file. Inside the ICAR file, there is the virus pattern, but it's not a virus. It's a virus pattern file, which means if your virus scanner is good, it should be able to detect. Right now, ICAR files comes with 3 types. The first one is icar.com. If you take a look at the if you take a look at the ICAR, the link that is provided in the Lab 3 manual, right? So you will see that there is a icar.com, icar.zip, and then icar2.zip. Now, icar.com has a virus pattern, right? So it has a message called ICAR standard antivirus test file, right? It has some virus pattern. And icar.zip is a virus pattern file being zipped, right? So why we are testing the icar.zip is to check whether your virus scanner is powerful enough to even scan a virus pattern zip file. Now then, icar2.zip is a virus pattern file zipped and rezipped. So zip 2 times to check whether your virus scanner can actually scan double zip virus pattern file. If your virus scanner can actually scan this double zip virus pattern file, then your virus scanner is strong enough, right? So that is why you have the 3 test file. Now, once you download the 3 test file, you scan them using any 5 online antivirus engine, right? Any 5 online antivirus engine. You can use any. You can go to the Google and then virus scanner free, right? You put that, and then you have many, right? You have AVG, Avast, right? Trend Micro, many. You can use Avira, right? So you can use any of those to do your question 2. Any of those to do your question 2. Then you can write down, right? What you need to write down is this. Right? What you need to write down is this. You don't need to install. There's a free, you can install, but usually you have also the uninstallation, the non-installation version, right? You can have the non-installation version. You have the online virus scan, right? You don't need to install one. You can key in this keyword, online virus scanner. So then you don't need to install. So for example, I would suggest this one, right? I would suggest this one, for example. If you, I don't know, you can take a look at this one. For me, this VirusTotal here has actually a server somewhere, right? And it once you feed the file inside, they will tell you that which virus scanner is best to detect, right? For example, if I choose a file, iCar.com. But you must disable your virus scanner. If not, it's going to if not, you're not able to if not, you're not able to right. If not, you're not able to download the iCar.com. So for example, today lab is actually a very simple lab. Maybe 1 hour, 30 minutes, we will finish, right? So it left only you to do the work, right? So if you take a look, I use VirusTotal, right? Then I choose my file just now, which I download the iCar. The iCar.com. So if I after, you see, so if I have a where unlab, Baidu, McAfee, it will tell me what kind of file is found, right? Or Sophos, Symantec, right? So what you need to do, right, in here is to write down exactly what you found. For example, iCar.com. If I choose, right, Avast for all. So Avast say iCar test, not a virus. So this one, right, make sure you write here. When you submit this one, make sure as detailed as possible, right? So what you need is make sure this one is as detailed as possible. So for example, this one, and then you found here the iCar test file. So what you paste is, right? For example, what you paste should be, for example, let's say you select, right? You select AVG, right? So you select AVG, you copy AVG, right? This iCar, not test. Hey, you must do a proper one. Then this one, instead of 5 online antivirus, you need to delete it. Right, you need to delete it, and then draw back the line, and then put AVG here. Then write it in detail like this, right? And then copy this and put it in here. Okay. Right, something like this. Okay. Snap a photo. Right? You need to snap a photo. So you need to submit the commands, right? For example, you need to submit the commands how you scan. So what you need is you need to go back here and then tell how you do it. For example, you're using VirusTotal, right? So what you need to do is, right, I'm using VirusTotal, right? And I include a file in here. So what you need to do is just tell exactly how are you going to do. You use a VirusTotal, then okay, this is what you get. For example, so this is the question 2, right? Please complete the finding 5 different virus scanner, right? If you don't want to install it, you can use VirusTotal. There are many versions. So many VirusTotal. VirusTotal, many. But usually I suggest this one lah. Then if you take a look, right, at the next question 2 and 3. Now, what is a keylogger? You do it later. I will explain 2 and 3. What is a keylogger? Now, when you are, I'm sure all the guys here very frequently goes to the cyber cafe, right? Very frequently goes to cyber cafe. So in cyber cafe, you don't know whether there's an install camera on top of the ceiling to observe whatever you're typing, especially while they're very happy. If you are a gamer, your account, and then if you are going to log in to somewhere very important, for example, your bank account, then they know your password, right? So they're going to find somebody to hack into your system. They are not professionals, right? If they have your password, the probability of success is higher. And how can you, right, as a user in public computer, public place, dodge something that monitors your activity? Now, keylogger monitors your activity by logging in whatever you are typing in your keyboard. For example, now when we start here, we are going to do something, right? So at first, please, we have installed the Windows XP last week, right? I think all of you have your Windows XP ready. You don't have to install your keylogger because your keylogger is in your Windows XP. Right? I have my Windows XP here, which I installed last week. Right? I just .048, no problem. It's going to start up also. Okay, Other things I didn't change. I just changed the RAM to 2048. Now today's lab, we are going to use this TAN, not the UCCN. So you will see in the desktop, right? In the desktop, you have the actual keylogger, the sandbox, and the lab tree, right? So if you take a look, you double click your actual keylogger. What does it do? Right? So you can actually clear all the logs, right? So for example, if the keylogger is switched on, right? The keylogger is starts monitoring. So for example, now I will go to my system and start to type, for example. Right? Or I can open a notepad. Right? So save. Sample. Factory. Right? So whatever you type, right? If you are monitoring your keyboard, right? Then you stop monitoring. Is it network is not? Internet activities, report, settings. Oh, sorry, I have to do the activity here. So for example, if you are going to because you have installed the actual keylogger here, and then you have open, for example, I want to open a notepad, right? So I will type, hi, how are you, right? And then I start monitoring first, right? Then I go to my program, accessories, I go to my notepad. Hi, how are you? Everything all right? So then I save, right? So I save as sample lab 3, right? I save. Then you will see that if I stop monitoring, right? If I go to my PC activities, actually it's telling the person who monitors your computer, what did you do? What application you open? What application you run? And what is the keystroke you have? You see, even you save the activity, save as, right? What file name you save, and also the keystroke that you have, right? For example, you shift, because I want to have a capital letter, so shift H I, then I put space, then I enter twice, then I shift H, because H I want capital letter, then how are you, then whatever activity you have, the keylogger will log your activity, right? Even when you want to go to, for example, your internet. I don't know, right? Even when you want to go to your internet, right, you should have the CMD. Right, because I want to check your this network, is it connected or not? Right. It should be connected lah, but I don't know whether it's connected or not. But no picture coming up. Because I want to check my network. Command prompt. I think last week the command prompt was working fine, right? So I think it's because I went to this. If I switch to this. If I switch to this, I have the command prompt. I'm a little bit skeptical about why that one don't have. IP config, right? Then you have the IP address, right? If you have the IP address, you should be able to do internet, right? So, for example, I go internet. Cannot find server. I think my DNS is not working, right? So because here, okay. There is a connection. Should be okay. Connection setting. Cannot display also. Maybe the internet is disabled by the, because we have a staff that makes this virtual box, right? So yeah, I think he think too much. He think it's not secure to have the internet here. Anyway, we have the IP, we should be able to go outside because we have also the default gateway, right? Anyway, he didn't allow. Okay, I don't want to force it, right? So I have the IP here, which is the 4395. Please jot down the IP, right? And then log off and switch the user back to done, right? Because then only you can find the lab3.exe file here, right? For your assessment, right? So if you see, download a free trial of Keylogger, right? Now actually you can download a free trial here and install it in your Windows. You can. Last time we do that, install it in your Windows. Yeah, but this time we prepare the virtual box for you because we are afraid you will install too many software. So when you have the Windows XP, so then you don't need to install Keylogger, install Sandboxy. Everything is inside the Windows XP. Now, going to internet or cannot go to internet, it doesn't matter, because the key point is we prepare the platform for you to reduce the number of software you need to install. So we play around with the Keylogger there, right? Now, the key point of what I want to explain is that the system is the actual Keylogger. If it's installed and what happens in Cyber Cafe is they hide this, right? They hide this guy, the Keylogger bad guy. And when you do any activity, it's going to log your activity. So now the question 3 asks you to how to dodge a Keylogger, right? How to dodge a Keylogger, meaning how to avoid having your desired information to be printed out. Now, this calls for a scenario that due to urgent matter, you need to check your email using the computer in the Cyber Cafe, which you know is installed with Keylogger, and you do not have administrator rights to install a virus, antivirus. What activity or what would you do to dodge the Keylogger? Now, this will gives you 0.5 marks. Now, you have to think of a way to dodge the Keylogger, right? I wouldn't say a camera, right? All these things doesn't apply to keys context. So this context only asks you to dodge a Keylogger. Now, I show you the function of Keylogger, right? A Keylogger is very successful. Why? Because it can even show you how many space or shift that you type, right? And what information you enter. Not only that, what application you open, even have a screenshot and a clipboard. Meaning, if you use the cut and paste, it will capture whatever cut and paste that you have. If you have a clipboard, even whatever you print, whatever files you open, which computer. So all these can be monitored. All these PC activity can be monitored. So how to dodge a Keylogger, right? Please think of a way to dodge a Keylogger, right? Now my hints is something simple can be useful. Something simple can be useful. How to dodge a Keylogger. Sorry, my neighbor is smoking here. Cannot. The smoke comes to my house. I cannot stand it. Right? So please find a way to dodge a Keylogger. There are many ways to dodge a Keylogger. Now the thing is, you need to check your email. Assuming, now this calls for an assumption, right? This calls for an assumption. Now the assumption is you have to log into your Utah web email, right? So how to dodge? Let's say assuming your user ID is A123456 and your password is UCCN1213. Assumption is your user ID is A123456 and your password. How do you dodge the Keylogger to avoid the Keylogger registering A123456 as a user ID and UCCN1213 as the password, right? So your user ID is your student ID, right? So every student is different. Every student is different. So assuming my student ID is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, I think got 7. So, and your password, this is fixed. This is fixed. Fix it to UCCN1213, right? So user ID is student ID. This is depend on student. This is depend on student. And this is fixed. So assuming now what you want to dodge is you want to dodge this. You want to dodge this being found out and this being found out. This is not something you type inside. Only this and this. And this is fixed. This is depend on your student ID. Whatever student ID you have. Okay. So for example, my student ID is so for example, my student ID is let's say I open Notepad, right? So my student ID is how you dodge. You have to open a Notepad, right? And then how you dodge. My student ID is just now I say A 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If I type A 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I will be known. UCCN 1213, right? If I type this, right, be sure, sorry, if it's switch on again, you see, if I put it in the clipboard, right, A 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, then UCCN 1213, right? So whatever I do, whatever clipboard, whatever keystroke, right? Whatever keystroke I enter, right? Whatever application I open, right? It will be recorded even in the clipboard. Even just now I write clip copy, right? So how are you going to avoid in open a Notepad, type make sure you have your student ID and this password is fixed. How can I dodge the keylogger activity? Any of these that doesn't show the UCCN 1213 and your student ID, right? And the student ID. So for example, I can say, hey, I can, for example, people, a lot of students use this method last time. I type a lot of character, right? I type a lot of character. Then I slowly find. Then I slowly find my UCCN 1213, for example, UCCNU, right? For example, UCCN, right? Then a lot of students use this method. 1, 2, 1, 3. Finally I got it, right? If you do like this, the possibility to be monitored by actual keylogger is very low. You can try. This is the hint I can give you, right? There are many methods. If you all of you use the same method, I have nothing to say, right? But anyway, I show you how you can dodge, so that next time when you go out and you need to do urgent thing, you can always dodge the keylogger. Don't assume that you are in safe environment. Always assume your environment is not safe. How you make things safe when you log into something. Don't assume your computer is safe without virus, right? You assume if your computer is with virus, what you do? You buy a virus scanner, right? Don't assume that when you go to an office, your boss will not see what you are doing. You always assume your boss is watching you, then you will work diligently, right? Always, if you have this kind of attitude, you will be very successful. The vigilant activity that you have will make you successful. Okay, so this is one of the hints I can give you for question 3. Is it okay? It's 9 o'clock already. For dodging the keylogger. Wong Hui Shi. Okay. Lim Chu King. How to dodge a keylogger? I show you some example already. Then Chua Yi Rui. Okay. Hong Yin. So right, we have finished question 2 and 3. You can do it slowly by today. Then let's go for question 4. What's the difference between conventional antivirus and cloud-based antivirus? Right? Just now I show you the virus total, right? And conventional antivirus, cloud-based antivirus. Cloud-based antivirus is easier, right? You can send the file to a cloud-based antivirus and then scan it there, right? You don't need to purchase, right? And of course, it comes with the fact that you are sending over some file for other people. If that file has a company secret, right, you cannot send it to the cloud-based antivirus. You should buy a conventional antivirus. So it depends on the usage. If I don't have nothing to lose, right, then I don't mind sending it to a cloud-based, because then they will have more data for their company to grow. Like why Google is free? Why Google is so powerful, right? Because everybody has been using Google, so they have a lot of footprints that they can do. For example, you suddenly click to yesterday, let's say you go to Lazada, because tomorrow is 11/11 now, right? So yesterday you go to Lazada, you look at some product you want to buy. Then today when you open Google, you find that all the product that you looked yesterday is being printed out, X and Y, left and right. It's going to give you a lot of advertisement. Hey, buy this. Hey, buy this. This is the Google, right? They go to see your footprints because they want to help other people to sell things. So they get the money from helping other people to sell things, even though Google Chrome is free, right? So cloud-based things, free things are not necessarily come without liability. So you have to be careful. And then number 5, what are the procedure you need to recover from virus attack? Well, this is very apparent, right? If you have a virus attack, you should install your virus scanner and scan it, clean it, make sure it's not leaving a trace inside your computer, right? I need to enable back first. Okay. Don't know what is happening. So yeah, need to enable back, then it should be okay. So I'm not a person to use a computer without a virus scanner. I think this is a small price to pay for the convenience. For the convenience, even though this is my own computer, right? Even when I was a student, I don't earn much, but if I don't enjoy some luxury food, I can have sufficient saving to buy the antivirus. And then in practical question 6, question 6, is it? Yeah, question 6, you need to present something, right? When you suspect a program is a malware, how would you execute the program without harming a computer? For example, we have provided here for you, right? Remember, question 2, you have to open a notepad and show us using a print screen how to dodge a keylogger. The example I show you just now, it works, right? But you just have to prove it works by checking all this, right? Checking all this. Does it keep data, right? Actually, it does not. So you can use the method that I use, or you can have other ways. There are so many ways. This is the easiest way I show you lah. There are so many ways to dodge a keylogger. For example, using a virtual keyboard. Now I'm using my keyboard to type. Remember, right? If you come across, right? Why I say this? If you come across, let's say UOB, or let's say public bank. Public bank, everybody uses public bank, right? For example, Google wants to know your, of course I don't want. I hate footprints, right? So if you go to see public bank, if you this login, let's say I have an enterprise. Actually, I don't have. Just log in only. I don't know how does it look like. For example, company ID. You see, when you are typing all this, when you are typing at all this, this is enterprise. Right? Your user ID. Or you go for your trading some more. So many. For example, you go log in your public bank, the one company I don't know how to use. So for example, you have your first time login guide, your PB online security. These are ways to actually ensure you are safe, to ensure you feel comfortable with their system. For example, I have sample secure. Let's say I use UCCN 1213. Right? You see, whichever thing you type, they will sure give you something one. Right? Is this your personal login phrase correct? Sweet Valley Hill. You see, when you have this kind of security, right? So additional security, you see, you can use the on-screen keyboard. Additional security. So on-screen keyboard, if you are at some location, you should maximize the security option provided by the platform. Provided by, for example, this case is your public bank. Never jeopardize. For example, now if Dr. Lau is in a cyber cafe, right? Then I would not use my keyboard to type. I will use the on-screen keyboard to type so that I won't leave a footprint there, for example. Okay. So this is some ways that you should maximize the security. When your computer, you feel your computer is, for example, you're in a friend's place. and suddenly your company asks you, hey, log into the system because we want to see something. Then you say, hey, friend, can borrow computer? You don't know also your friend can register the password or something. Maybe your friend is not a bad guy, but what if your friend is your rival company? Let's say you work with DM, then your friend is work with Maxis, right? I don't know. Sometimes you should think of you should feel uncomfortable when you are not in a safe environment. You should to maximize the security sense that you have within yourself. So all the elements that is provided to ensure total security, please use it when you know your security can be compromised. Not necessarily being compromised, but can be compromised. When things can be compromised, please maximize the security options that is available from the provider, from the platform. Is it clear, student? This is very important. When you are in unsafe environment, make sure you do not compromise your everything that is offered by the service provider. Please use it to maximum. So the third question that requires you marks, that you will gives you marks, right? For example, you will sometimes receive email, spam email, and then you say, hey, the spam email come with attachment. You already know it's a spam email because you don't know the person in that sending you the email. Wow, you're going to win 1 million, you're so happy. Not necessarily. You're going to lose more than you win. So with that, you suspect something. So we are going to teach you a way to open a file in a safe environment. For example, let's this keylogger, I hope you can complete it, right? So what you need is for keylogger, right? The main thing you need is to open a notepad. And dodge the student ID and password, right? And dodge this one. So that is the second one. And then for the opening the files, you see, when you have a file, let's say lab 3, you suspect lab 3 is some file that is corrupted, right? That is corrupted. And you want to double click and open it. No, you want to open it in a safe environment. That is when we introduce you the sandboxing. Now, the concept of sandboxing is like this. The concept of sandboxing is like this. Have you ever go to a seaside, right? A seaside has many sand, right? Well, many sand, right? Lots and lots of sand, and then this is sand, right? And then this is water, right? So this is water. This is sand, right? So this sand, if the water comes in, if the water comes in, let's say you build a sandcastle. You build a sandcastle, right? When the water comes in, your sandcastle will go down. Correct? No? This is now sandboxing, meaning we have an agile environment. Agile environment. Agile environment means this agile environment is exactly as your sandcastle, right? If in case you open some file that will corrupt the system, it will only corrupt the sandcastle that you built. It will not corrupt the actual system itself. it is a safe environment to be broken, because this broken environment can be rebuilt easily. So we call this a sandboxy environment. Now sandboxy, we can open the sandboxy here, right? You can go to start and then go to program files. You have your sandboxy, then you have your sandboxy here, which is already open, right? You can, once you open your sandboxy, you see, if for example the program I open sandboxy is let's say I want to open let's say I right click here. Now the sandboxy is okay. Now the sandboxy is already there, so I can run Windows Explorer, right? So if you see the Windows Explorer is with a yellow color, this is inside the sandboxy. If I go to my start and I go to my computer, this is Windows Explorer also. This one is without the yellow color. This is not the sandboxy. This is the actual system. A sandboxy system has a yellow color. That means it shows that this is a sandbox environment. I can trash the sandbox environment. I can close the sandbox environment. My PC is still okay. I can, in fact, open a virus in my sandboxy environment, and only my sandbox will be compromised. My computer will not be compromised. Only my sandbox will be compromised. For example, I suspect the lab3, right, is a virus file, right? I would need to use a Windows Explorer to open the virus file in the lab3. So if you see, right, I can run in the sandbox environment. If I destroy, I only destroy the sandbox environment. Okay, so if I run, you see, when I run something, in fact, this software is run in a sandbox environment because I click it in the sandbox, sandboxy, right? So I know this program is not malicious, right? Press any key to control. So once I know this is not a virus file, right? I can actually retrieve this file. Right? So I can send it to somewhere. Now, how to retrieve how to make sure this file can, it's safe, but this file is in the sandbox environment. So I want to transfer this file from a sandbox environment to my computer safely, right? So I can actually go to recover. I can go to recover this file, right? I can go to recover this file. So it's very important, the sandboxy condition, right? You see, when you suspect a program is malware, how would you execute the program without harming your computer? So the sandboxy is a program that runs your program in an isolated space, which prevents from making permanent changes to the other programs and data. So after you figure out that this lab3 is not a malware, right? You can actually recover it. Okay, so recover it and place it back at the C drive. Place it back at the C drive. Okay. How to recover a file, right? If you take a look, right? How to recover a file? You have the quick recovery here, right? So there are no files to recover any folder, add a folder, right? So you can actually recover a file, right? Recover any folder or any file. Or because add a folder, right? Recover any folder. Actually, it's wait. I think it's a run. I think it's a quick recovery. Wait. Why this one? Run sandbox. Right. See whether here. I think. To check where is it, the file. You see in the sandbox environment, you see in the sandbox environment, we also have the windows here. But this windows is not the windows of the actual Windows. This is a sandbox window. In the system, we mutate. We can say we mutate a temporary system so that in that system we can open the software. So this is a test bed. I would say a test bed that can securely run any file that you suspect is malicious, right? Okay, wait. I need to check how to recover, right? Usually, oh, this is not. You can save. Okay. I think this is not possible. This is not recovery. This is not recovery. So there is a recovery. So this sandbox, same as this one. But if I send to create shortcut only, send to my documents. Okay, sorry, I found it. So when you want to save, right, you can send to, let's say, my documents. If you create a shortcut, it will not be able to do it. So when you want to send to my documents, right, So for example, yes, right? Wait, I have to go to my documents and delete it first. Right. Send to my documents. Lab 3. My documents. Oh, okay. So it's in my documents here. It's not in. You see, the my documents in your sandbox here, and my documents in my real folder is different, because the file is still inside the sandbox. It won't appear here. So when I want to send to let's say outside, copy and paste. You see, you cannot copy from source file or this, because this is in sandbox environment. So what you can do just now, when I make the wait, I need, you see, you can recover it, right? You can recover to the same folder if you choose to recover, right? If you choose to recover, then it will appear here. When you choose to recover, then it will appear here. If you don't choose to recover, it will only be presented in the sandbox. It will not be here. You see, the copy of Lab 3 is not in the actual Windows. It's in the sandbox window, whereby you can just delete it and it's gone. The sandbox is gone. For example, terminate. Right? You can terminate the sandbox. Then you can open up again. You can go and open up again the sandbox. Right? See, you can open up a sandbox, terminate a sandbox, simple. But you cannot reinstall the Windows every time. But you can reinstall this one by a click of a button. Clear? So this is the power of sandbox. I hope when you are in your career, when you're working, right, think about sandbox when you have a file that is unsecured. Now in here, you need to describe, right, and show how you can open your file in a safe environment by snapping a photo. For example, just now what I did is, in the sandbox, I go to the desktop, I have this file, I run it in this file, I know this file is safe, then I recover it in the my documents, right? Right? I have this one. Now I want to copy, right? If I want to copy this and paste it in the real environment, right? Unless it's safe, right? So now I can copy it, right? If I copy, you see, right? So it's in the sandboxy environment, right? If I want this to appear here, right? If I want the Lab 3 to appear here, if I want to save, you see, I cannot save this in the Lab 3. I must recover this one, right? From folder to folder, I cannot save, even though I don't have, because this is in a sandboxy environment. I need to recover this file. I need to recover this file, as I show you just now. So once you recover this file, okay, for example, I delete this one and I delete this one and I delete this one, right? So if I want to recover just now my files in the desktop, right, I send to, let's say my documents, right? It will say recover to the same folder, right? Okay, recover. So now I have the lab 3 here, understand? So I can only recover. I cannot copy this file. For example, I cannot copy a file from here to plug in here. You see, it's not allowed. I can only do a recover. Then only I can recover the file from a sandboxy environment to a normal Windows environment. Okay, so all this you need to snap a photo and put it as put it here so that you can get your full 0.5 marks. You need to describe lah. I open the file in the sandboxy environment, something, and then I recover the files, something, right? You need to describe in words also, right? For example, I type character something, and then I check the PC monitoring. It doesn't show, right? And then then you snap a photo and show here. For example, just now the keylogger, right? The keylogger system, right? You just print screen the keylogger system. You just print screen the keylogger system. Right, print screen the keylogger system. Or you take a photo using your handphone, right? Then go here, then paste, for example. So I already, this one for the sandboxy, what you can do is same thing just now, right? I open the file in the sandboxy. Make sure this is yellow lah. Yellow, and then print screen. Then I open this file. This file also yellow. Print screen. Then right? Then how I open this one? I print my screen, then I paste it here, right? Then how I recover the file? How I recover the file? What function you use? Right, and then how I recover my files? I go to send to something, then for example, my documents. This one first. Right. So for example, I have in my desktop, I send to my documents, and then they will ask me to recover, right? This one I need to print screen. I mean, I can finish it in 30 minutes. I don't need to wait until next week only, then I send. For me, what I can do today, I won't leave it to this one, and I recover the files, something, right? Describe how you did it, just to get the maximum mark. Don't leave anything that to be question, right? You don't leave any question, you should get 0.5 marks. Okay, then we go to the last few questions, right? Besides antivirus program, do you need a firewall? Oh, hey, this is not a question. This is an answer. You sure need a firewall. And then question 8 shows the importance of firewall with VNC. Of course, if the firewall is up, the VNC is not possible, right? For example, just now I asked you to check the IP address, right? So I have my IP address 43.95. Now this computer already have the VNC server mode enabled, right? Now I already install my VNC here in my PC, right? Viewer. Yeah. No, I haven't installed yet. Okay, never mind. In your software, today's software, you have to install the VNC viewer, right? So yeah, English. So install the VNC viewer only. So okay, in the computer that you have, install the VNC computer. Install the VNC viewer in the computer you have. So here, for question, this one. VNC viewer. VNC viewer to the computer. Okay, why? Right. Install the VNC to the viewer, and then you have to go to the VNC server. The first step, the second step, and then you can manipulate. That's the third step. It's like a team viewer. For example, I have installed right? Okay. The license, I think, is provided in the license is provided in the lab manual, right? In the lab installation. Right? The license is provided in the lab installation. If you see the installation here, right? This one is M72NH-64AJ8 43LA2 43LA2 24PKE, then P3CZA. Right, and you go next. Yes, right. So VNC password, you don't care lah. VNC password, okay. Simple lah. Okay, then you finish. Make sure you remember the password lah. So right, then you can click finish, right? So you have the VNC viewer here. So what you do, the VNC viewer, just now I have 192.168. Oh, sorry, 168.43.95, right? And I choose to connect, right? Oh yeah, wait, my wire, my here. Okay, so continue, right? Password is use CCN1213. Then you see, I can actually, this is my VNC viewer in my actual computer. This is the Windows XP running on VirtualBox. You see, this is my VNC viewer. It's not a VirtualBox. This is a VNC viewer I install in my PC, right? So this is the Oracle VirtualBox that I have my Windows XP. I can actually manipulate. I can actually manipulate. See? So this is the power of VNC. You can log on. Now, if your firewall is switched on, you can never do VNC. You can never do VNC. So in order for you to secure your company, this is assuming it's company. In order to secure that, you see, sometimes you do not know that you're observed because I don't touch any of this, right? I don't touch any of this. I just open. Then I will slowly see what is Dr. Lau Pui doing, right? If you have your virus, then nobody can know secretly what you are doing. You understand what I mean? Not necessarily I want to get hold of your computer function, but sometimes I just want to observe what you are doing and record it down, like a forensic like that, right? So in order to prevent your computer being monitored by some other people that you are not aware of, your computer should be always running under virus scanner. You understand? That's why just now here prompt me, if you're under virus scanner, you can never use VNC. Nobody can hack into your system or monitor what you can do, what you are doing, right? For example, now if I go VNC viewer, if I want to go here, if I want to connect, it says it's not able to. It's not able to. Oh, wait. Oh, because here has no here is no. I have my Windows protection, but here don't have. Hey, here how to enable? Start firewall. Wait. So program search firewall. Windows XP, I don't know where is all the, I don't know. Hey, it's going to the internet, tell me what is a firewall. Oh my God, okay. So actually it can go to internet one. So just now we try to go to internet but cannot, right? But actually it can go to internet one. Like you see now it's going to the internet. So I can actually check malware, right? No problem. It can actually go to the internet. So because it has an IP and has a gateway, in concept wise it should go. So that would be the last question here, right? Show the importance of firewall with VNC. So if you have firewall properly configured, the VNC connection should fail. If you have firewall in your PC, for example, my PC have firewall, right? Nobody can hack into my system. But if your PC doesn't have firewall like this guy here, right? Everybody can go to your computer. Okay. So you will find that all of you can go to this computer. Why? Because this Windows XP here is not set with firewall. Okay. So that would be the last question, right? Predical show the importance of, however, if the firewall is properly configured, you can't. So let's see what it is. You describe the words to show the proof in detail. For example, initially, I can access into the into the Windows XP. So when I enable my firewall in the XP, then what you cannot do. So for example, here you can enable the firewall back because by default, right, the firewall is sent to right, the firewall is switched off, you see. So you can say the firewall is switched off. You can say initially the firewall is switched off. Then security. Then I can use VNC viewer to access, right? So, right? So for example, I print screen, right? I can access. Then I enable my firewall in Windows XP, right? Then what will happen? For example, okay, student. Okay. So yeah. So that would be all for today's lab, right? I think we have greatly discussed the options that we have today, right? Okay. No more. Right? So we have greatly discussed the options we have today, right? Here, install VNC in the computer, go to VNC server, logging in, not go to log in, and you can manipulate. Then with firewall and without firewall, right? So that would be all for today, right? Wait, I need to I need to do everything proper, because if not, I have to do many video. You also realize I send you all many video, right? Because a lot of students have problem. So I don't like myself on video. Also no choice. Have you all completed first and second right properly? Right, something to guide you. Okay, so yeah, so I will send this to you to guide you, right? So at least you will have some guide. So any questions, student? Any questions? I forget to see. Why is the authentication failed? Li Yuxiang, what did you do? I don't know which part of it. Li Yuxiang, can you describe what do you want to say? Why is the VNC? Oh, I should go to the installation. Right? Wait, software installation lab 3. Lab 3 kit. Right? I think you typed wrongly. I never failed before. I install in Windows 10, install. Actually, I have 3 computer, right? So this one, you must type with the dash included, student. You must type with the dash included. Clear. You cannot ignore the dash. Just now also I didn't ignore the dash. If you see I type when I type. So please don't ignore the dash. If not, then you won't get it installed. Okay, student. Okay, Liu Xiang, you try again. Cannot omit the dash one. You have to type a dash again. And I think that would be all for today. Any questions? I would say please submit by this week lah, by tomorrow. This is a very simple assessment. Because if you delay, your assignment all coming up. I don't want to have last minute, then all of you give up or something, right? So if you have nothing, right, I will send the attendance, right? Make sure attendance. This is big 3 P13. Okay, attendance. Please scan your attendance. Today only one attendance. Please scan your attendance, student. You can use your camera to take a photo, or you can use print screen like just now what I did. Right? So whichever. Whichever. So okay. So if you are done, you can have your breakfast, right? QR code haven't activated. Oh yeah. Wait, I have to activate my QR code. Sorry, I have to scan first. I forget I have to scan first. Lecturer don't scan, student cannot scan. Lecturer also got job. Okay, now you can scan. Okay. So yeah, any questions? When I make it smaller so that I can put this at the side, right? So if you don't have any questions, actually, you can go for your breakfast, right? I will send the just now whatever I prepare, right? This one, whatever I prepare here, I will send it to you as last week, by tomorrow. So please do it. Your student ID for the keylogger student ID depend on your student ID. The password is fixed, so try to dodge the keylogger using the notepad. Using the notepad. Right, if you don't have any questions, then you may leave for your breakfast. Otherwise, you can ask me questions. Shalini, Talini, everything okay? Tarani, oh sorry Chia Pei-yong, Huam Ze-kai. Now, today we have teach you many methods in securing your computer. Now, you look at today's things, right? You look at last week. Last week we teach you, the first week we teach you encryption. Encryption means document-based, human to human or A to B communication, how to secure that channel. And last week we teach you how to transfer files securely. How you are able to transfer file, you're able to do Unix system, you're able to create, you're able to change permission for the files, right? So this is at your side, at the user side. The first week is user and user. The second week is user side. And then the third week is user and applications. Right? Let's revise. The first week is user to user security. We have a practical one. So the second practical tool is user side security. How to create files, how to manage, right? How to manage your security. How to download files, how to manage a secure download. The third practical, we teach you how user and applications, using virus scanner, how to dodge a keylogger, how to open a file in a safe environment, how to prevent people monitoring your work, user and applications. And next week, we will have to secure practical 4. Secure larger internal network. This one I will display next week. So each of the practical, there is some meaning into it. There's some meaning into, there's a skill that you can learn. The skill set that you learn in each week is different perspective. The perspective is different. Okay. I hope you have complete your assessment 1, user to user, right? Which you do public and private key, right? And then your symmetric, your share key, right? And then your cipher, right? All the cipher is basically because you want to communicate user to user. Okay. So I hope everything is clear until now. If there's nothing, right, we call it a day. And if you don't have any questions, Hui Shi Wong, Li Yu Xiang, any question? Chen Wei Qing. If no question, you can continue doing it, completing it, right? And or you can go for your breakfast. I'm sure all of you, I don't know how many of you are still active, right? So thank you very much for attending today's class, right? And see you next week. Next week's system, I hope all of you have the packet tracer, right? I will send you the installation. Now, you realize that this week I didn't send you the installation because basically we are using the last week Windows XP. Okay? Okay, thank you, thank you.